to see you. We're going to get started here in just 1 second. Heather's going to lead us off. All right, you're up. Heather, this is a hardy bunch. They got here through the snow and the wind, and
our vintagers are really dedicated. We're really excited about it. So, and we're all really glad that you're here today.
Glad to be here.
Well, hello and welcome to Vintage. My name is Heather Sidlacco, and I am the Executive Director of Vintage Center for Active Adults, a service of Family Links. I am honored to be here today alongside Governor Josh Shapiro and other local and state leaders to discuss the invaluable benefits of the Pennsylvania Property Tax Rent Rebate Program and to highlight the crucial role that senior centers like Vintage play in helping older adults access these benefits. Before I get started, I'd like to acknowledge the following people who are joining us today. We have Senator Lindsey Williams, Representative Latasha Mays, County Executive Sarah Innamorato, Mayor Ed Gainey, Secretary Pat Brown, Dr. Hannah Hardy from the Allegheny County Office of Aging, and Annette Nance, Executive Director of the Governor's Commission on African American Affairs. So welcome everyone. Many of you are friends and longtime supporters of Vintage, and we are so grateful. Annually, Vintage helps approximately 175 older adults complete their property tax and rent rebate applications. This happens with the help from Vintage staff, volunteers, and other community partners, such as the local office of Representative Latasha Mays. We were thrilled when Governor Shapiro signed a law with the support from Representative Mays and Senator Williams that significantly increased the program's benefits for the first time in nearly 2 decades. Raising the income limits for both renters and homeowners, as well as increasing the amounts of rebates available, has greatly increased the number of older adults eligible for this benefit. In particular, we have heard from many renters who previously were not eligible for the program and the impact that it has made on their lives. The income level for renters went up from $15,000 to $45,000, which is a 300% increase. With rent being more costly than ever, this change in eligibility is a huge help by putting money back into individuals' pockets in a time when we know groceries and other essentials are more expensive than ever before. At Vintage Center for Active Adults and senior centers across Allegheny County, we are dedicated to supporting our community members in accessing this vital program. Our knowledgeable staff and volunteers assist individuals in navigating the application process, ensuring they understand the requirements and the deadlines. But our commitment goes beyond financial assistance. At Vintage, we recognize that social connection is a fundamental need for overall well-being. Our center offers a variety of activities and services designed to foster social interaction and engagement, from fitness classes to creative workshops like painting and quilting and social events. We provide opportunities for older adults to stay active, connected, and engaged with their peers. These activities not only enhance physical and mental health, but also create a sense of community and belonging. And we know that belonging is important throughout our lives, whether you're 5, 50, or 105, or anywhere in between. The combination of financial relief through accessing benefits such as the PA Property Tax and Rent Rebate Program and the social support provided by Vintage creates a holistic approach to supporting older adults over the years. We are proud to be a part of this effort and deeply grateful to Governor Shapiro and the state of Pennsylvania for their continued commitment to supporting our older neighbors. I hope that all eligible Pennsylvanians will apply for the rebate program and take advantage of the wonderful resources available at senior community centers like Vintage. To get help with your application at Vintage, you can call us at 412-361-5003. Thank you for the opportunity to share a little about Vintage. Now I am so proud to introduce the Governor of Pennsylvania, Josh Shapiro. Thanks,
Thank you. Thank you, Heather. Good morning, Vintage. It is good to be with all of you today, and let me apologize for being a little late. The weather slowed me down today, but it obviously did not slow any of you down, and I'm glad that we could all gather here today for what is both an important statement about the work we've been able to do together and an important announcement going forward about some additional relief coming to seniors. I'm really happy to be here with all the elected leaders from the state and local level and Particularly happy to be here with two members of my administration, Secretary Pat Brown, who is our Revenue Secretary. He's the guy in charge of sending out the checks, so he's definitely the one you want to go over and talk to afterwards. And Annette Nance, who leads our Commission on African American Affairs. We work very hard to make sure that we're getting the word out and getting the information out about all that we are able to accomplish together. Democrats and Republicans working together in our state to get big things done. It's good to be back in Pittsburgh, a place where I am very, very regularly. And I'm really humbled and honored to have the opportunity as governor to get all across Pennsylvania and show up in urban and rural, suburban communities. And the truth is, while the neighborhoods look a little bit different, right? Around here you see some tall buildings, right? And you go to farmlands not too far away where there's no tall buildings, but there's just a lot of open land. When you actually sit down and talk to folks and you listen to them and you actually hear them, folks are all kind of basically saying they want the same few things from our government. They want really good schools for their kids and their grandkids. They want to make sure that they've got safe streets to walk down for those same kids and grandkids. They want economic opportunity, and they want things to cost a little bit less so they've got an opportunity to get by. And they want their rights and their freedoms protected. No matter where you go across Pennsylvania, that's what I hear from folks. And so that has been the cause of my work as your governor, to deliver in those key areas. And for those of you who follow state government, we've had a lot of challenges in those areas over time, a lot of problems that have made it hard to make progress. I'm very proud that at this midpoint in my administration, in my service to you as your governor, we've solved a lot of those problems. And today I wanted to talk about just one of those examples. For 20 years, in the halls of our state capitol, and I know your county exec and your mayor who used to serve in the House will remember this, we had folks walking around saying we've got to give seniors more of a break on their property taxes. And every year would go by and they wouldn't get that extra break. That's something we talked about when I was campaigning for this office. It's something I pledged that we would work on together. And in just my first 6 months as your governor, we delivered the largest targeted tax cut for seniors in 20 years. 20 years. We heard you in urban and rural and suburban communities saying seniors need a little bit of extra help, a few more bucks in their pocket to be able to pay their rent or cover the mortgage or fix up something in their home or for their medications or their food, you name it, or be able to come to a great place like Vintage. And so we delivered by working together. Now, it's important for you to note that in Harrisburg, literally nothing can happen unless Republicans and Democrats work together. Why do I say that? Because we're one of the only states in the country with a divided legislature. Our Senate is led by Republicans. Our House is led by Democrats. That means that I literally can't get a bill to my desk unless both Democrats and Republicans have supported it. And so I work hard every day to try and bring folks together, to find that common ground, to try and play the game between the 40-yard line. And God, I wish the Steelers were still playing in their game. But to be able to do common sense things that actually yield a great benefit for the people who need it most. And in this case, as a result of us coming together, seniors were the big beneficiaries. The new law that I signed about a year ago increased the property tax rent rebate from $650 to $1,000. It increased the income cap, you heard Heather refer to this earlier, up to $45,000. We heard from so many seniors who were basically priced out of getting the relief. And in addition to that, we set it up so we don't have to come back and try and fix this every year, right? So there's not another 20-year gap. We actually just set that $45,000 rate to a COLA, so every year that will increase. So if you can get that relief, you're not going to kind of get priced out of the market as the years go on. And what we've seen a year into this new initiative for our seniors is a major impact. 521,000 Pennsylvania seniors are now getting relief under the property tax rent rebate law, and they got $318 million back in their pockets. In Allegheny County alone, Madam Executive, I know you'll appreciate this, 11,000 people in Allegheny County are now getting relief from their property taxes. And that's 11,000 more than got it the year before we passed this law. So more people in Allegheny County are getting relief, and they're getting more relief than they ever did before, and they can count on that relief in the years going forward because of the COLA that we put in place. Across the state, more than 100,000 new seniors are getting relief. 100,000 seniors who've been crying out for help for 20 years, they're now getting that help. So I wanted to come here today for two reasons. Number one, to celebrate the progress that we've all made together. And I want to thank Representative Mays and Senator Williams for their votes to get that bill to my desk so we could deliver that relief to all of you. And I want to thank Secretary Brown and his team at the Department of Revenue for getting those checks out. I remember the day those checks were allowed to go out, I was calling the secretary, are they going out, are they going out? They got those checks out on day one or transferred directly in people's bank accounts on day one. So the first thing I wanted to do today was celebrate the progress we made. The second thing is I wanted to be here at Vintage today in Allegheny County to announce that next year's property tax rent rebate season is now officially open. And for those of you who are here today, you can literally go in the back of the room and talk to our Department of Revenue staff and get your application done right here today. And for those of you who are watching at home, I encourage you to go down to your state representative or your state senator's office, Senator Williams, Representative Mays, and they've got great staff there who can walk you through what is a pretty easy application process. And for those of you who want to go online, we have a really easy website, pa.gov/PTRR. And we're trying to make it even easier for you. We got a special number you can text and ask your questions, and you'll get answers in real time. You can text us at 717-788-8990. So whether you go online, do it yourself, you text us with your questions, you stop by the rep or the senator's office, or you do it right here with the Department of Revenue, the next season for property tax relief for this year, 2025, is now open. Go get the relief that we worked so hard for you to have. Here's the last thing I want to say. I recognize that, we're in kind of polarized times right now, where it's very easy for folks to kind of go in their corner and yell and scream. And maybe they feel a little bit better about yelling and screaming at the other side, but that doesn't make for progress in our communities. The way you make progress in our communities is by finding ways to come together and listen to one another and hear the lessons that you pick up out in the neighborhoods and then turn that into policy wins. We don't always get what we want or all of what we want, but when we work together, we can make real progress. My administration lives by 3 letters every single day, GSD. We focus on getting stuff done for the good people of Pennsylvania. That is our charge. That's the charge you've given me as your governor. And in the case of property tax rent rebate, that's exactly what we've done. Now, we've had a lot of partners in this work. The people who are elected leaders who voted for this and helped us get this done, and also people like Donna Terry, who challenged us to do better for seniors across Pennsylvania, who challenged us to listen to them in order to make progress. Donna is one of the people who's benefited from our new law, and it is my pleasure to invite someone who I think you all know pretty well, Donna Terry, to say a few words to all of you, and then I'll come back and answer some questions later. Thank you all very, very much. Donna?
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I'm honored first to stand beside Josh Shapiro and all the vintagers here and everyone. I'm here to talk about the rent rebates, and I am so honored to have the opportunity to get on that program because it helped me so much with my rent, groceries, and medical bills. It also helped me with a lot of essential things that I could not afford to take care of. With this program, it helped lift a lot of my financial burdens. So that's one thing I'm proud of. And also, it was an easy opportunity, and the staff helped me very well to apply for it. It's very easy to do. Just come down and sign up for it, and you possibly get it. Second thing, I am proud to be a Venager. I've been at Vintage. I've been at Vintage for 10 years, and I enjoy the people here. Some of them's like family, you know, with me losing family members, and today my mother would have been 100, and some of these are like family, mothers and aunts and uncles to me. I enjoy the classes. I do diamond art class. I exercise a little bit. I love going on the trips, and when we go on the trips, I love spending time with the people on the access van and everything. So with that being said, I'm not a long speaker, as you could tell.
You're doing great.
And as that being said, I would like to also thank the governor, Josh Shapiro, for giving me the opportunity.
Yeah.
I could call him Josh.
Yeah, we're good. We're good.
For giving me the opportunity to speak on the behalf of many seniors out here. So if you have the opportunity, please go today and sign up and get the chance to get a rent rebate. And I am also honored to be a member here at Vintage. And with that being said, I would like to introduce to everyone Secretary Pat Brownie.
You're awesome. Thank you. Hey, Mr. Secretary.
Good afternoon, I guess. Yeah, good afternoon. It's great to be with the governor as the Secretary of Revenue and talk about probably one of the most coveted programs that the department is responsible for administering. That is the property tax and rent rebate program. And to be in Pittsburgh, one of the nation's city of champions, it is appropriate and easy to talk about achievements. And the governor had mentioned the work that was done over the past year. The first time in 20 years that this program was improved. 520,000 claimants this year, as opposed to around 400,000 the year before. One thing that's important to note is the amount of money that has been distributed through the program this year at $320 million is the largest number the program has ever distributed on behalf of its patrons. And the governor's, thank you, and the governor's work is responsible for that. My staff at the Department of Revenue takes great pride in making sure this program continues to succeed. Notwithstanding 100,000 new claimants, we had processed, as of last week, 99.5% of our work relating to those additional claimants, which is the highest we've ever done. And last year, in order to make sure that those new recipients know about the program or get back into the program after falling off because of incomes going up, we held 300 separate outreach events statewide to make sure that we do our part to work with seniors to file their claims for the program. Our estimates are there's still about 20,000 claimants that would qualify that haven't applied yet. We want to make sure that everyone is eligible, steps forward and has an opportunity to apply. So to steal one of the governor's lines, there's no wrong door for this. Go to our district offices, go to the legislative district offices, go online to file a form. We want to make sure that this important program benefits all the recipients and those eligible across Pennsylvania. And I wanted to, again, congratulate the governor for his tremendous leadership in regards to it. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. As Secretary Brown sits down, you'll note his lapel pin, the Pennsylvania Lottery. The Secretary also oversees the lottery. Keep playing the lottery. It helps our seniors. Scratch all that stuff off, right?
Keep playing. Yeah.
There you go. And
County Executive Immorato, I'm sorry.
absolutely. Thank you, Mr. Secretary.
Thank you, Governor. Well, good afternoon, everyone. How are we feeling? We're good, we're warm, we're toasty. We're excited about property tax and rent rebates. Thank you, Governor, for coming back to Pittsburgh. The governor and his administration takes special interest in Pittsburgh and Allegheny County, and we are grateful for his administration's partnership each and every day. So thank you, thank you. I want to thank our folks here from the county, from the AAA, our Department of Human Services. I would not be able to stand here as your county executive, but for the work that county employees do each and every day to provide compassionate and accessible services to everyone. Heather, thank you for playing host today at Vintage. I heard I have to come back for some line dancing. I heard it's the place to be, so you'll see me soon. And thank you all for being here in the audience to celebrate the kickoff of this season of property tax and rent rebate. As my colleagues in the State House and State Senate know, and the mayor, as a former representative like myself, we are responsible for filling out hundreds and hundreds of property tax and rent rebates for people who come from all walks of life and come through our doors and say, hey, I'm just looking for a little bit of help. I've paid my dues. I'm a great community member, and this is our reward back to you for doing what you do best in being an active participant in our communities, and for that we are so incredibly grateful. I do say that governing is a team sport, which means that no one elected official is going to solve all of the world's problems, and together, when we work at all levels of government, when we work with members of our community, we can do great things. So I just want to highlight some things that the county offers as well. So in addition to homestead exemption, we also offer a senior citizen tax relief program, which offers a flat 30% discount for seniors who are over 60 and make $30,000 or less and have owned their home for 10 years. So that's something you can add on to it. Obviously, we fund amazing institutions like Vintage through our Area Agency on Aging and a number of other programs. But I think it's also really important to point out that over the last 10 years, we've seen a tenfold increase in senior citizens using our homeless shelters. So when we talk about affordable housing, we do need to center older adults and the needs that older adults have when we're coming up with solutions. So I just passed a budget at the end of last year, so we're going to be investing in housing in a big way. So $2 million for the Allegheny County Home Improvement Loan Program, $500,000 for a landlord repair program. This will keep people in their homes and in their apartments. And we're also dedicating a historical amount, $3.5 million, to enable the creation of 150 units of affordable housing through the Low-Income Housing Tax Credit Program. So those are just a few things that are helping us create more affordable housing and care for our seniors and meet them where they're at. In Allegheny County, we're one of the oldest counties in America, and we can view that as a liability or we can view that as an opportunity. And I choose to view it as an opportunity to invest in spaces like this where we can bring community members together in a multi-generational way and learn from your experience and share wisdom with one another, and really say that an investment in our senior community is an investment in our community, and that when we work together, we can truly build a Pittsburgh, an Allegheny County, and a Pennsylvania that works for us all, regardless of what stage of life we're in. And a partner I have in that mission is Mayor Ed Gainey, and I'd like to welcome him up to the podium to share some remarks. Thank you, Mayor.
Thanks, Mayor. Vintage. How y'all doing? It's been a minute. It's good to see everybody. Y'all ready to get these written rebates? Yes. Governor, I got to applaud you. This is a story. This is a story. The amount of money, because a lot of y'all, when I was a state representative, came to my office and you'd be right on the borderline that you could not get the money because it was so close. And that used to hurt me because I know how much you needed the money. And it's been a long time since we had a governor to be able to create that level of COLA where the cap continues to increase, to give you an opportunity to be able to do things in your household that 5 years ago, guess what? You just couldn't do. You just couldn't do it. And so this is historic in so many ways, and I'm so glad that I'm at the Vintage. Heather, what can we say? Can y'all give Heather a hand as well? Give Heather a hand. You know, I always tell people, many have laid the foundation, but it always takes somebody that has a vision and leadership to be able to make things happen. And you always have to have that. Where there's no vision, the people perish, but where there's a vision, people grow. Elevation is always constant. And when we talk about elevation, you have to have a leader at the top that sees elevation not just as a word, but actually an instrument. Something that's going to help you be able to add more value and more funds to your household, because we know inflation is up. We know bread costs more. You know, you get a bag of chips now, you only get a half a bag. That's all you get is a half a bag. So at the end of the day, this right here, Governor, is something that is a milestone. And this is something where history is made and people won't forget about it. And also, Governor, the $600 million you brought for downtown.
That's right.
So
We.
All of us together.
But
let me be clear. We might have created the plan, but someone had to accept it for the money to advance. And that's the governor. So even though it's we still got to go to the state. And I want to thank my state partners too, Latasha D. Mays, State Representative Latasha D. Mays. Senator Lindsey Williams, incredible job. Incredible jobs. And so I want to say I learned a word the other day. Matter of fact, Sarah was with me. Someone said hope is an action. And sometimes we look at hope as a word. And we throw that word around a lot. Hope, 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 hope. Keep hope alive. We throw it around a lot. But when hope becomes an action, it's not because we keep it as a word, it's because you can see the deed that led to the type of action that provided you the opportunity to get more funding through the rent rebate. That's hope. That's an action. And that's the type of leadership we need. So in this historic moment, I want to thank the governor. I want to make sure that we all understand that a little bit more money in your pocket means your grandkids can ask you for some more money. And you'll give it to your grandkids. You'll spoil your grandkids. Then you'll send them home to mommy and daddy, where we have to reprogram them because grandma and granddaddy done gave them everything they want. But how special it is for have our seniors to be able to say thank you for all you do and contribute to our society. God bless you and thank you. And with that, I want to recognize Senator Lindsey Williams.
Thanks, Jay. I gotta go.
Hey, Village, have a great day.
Hello, everyone. I'm State Senator Lindsey Williams. I'm proud to represent this part of the city, including Vintage here in East Liberty. I want to thank Vintage for hosting us today. They're just an absolutely wonderful resource for our community of just gathering people together to, do things with their hands, learn new things, and be together. I want to take just a moment to highlight one of my favorite programs, which is the Technology Support Program, which focuses on the need of digital literacy for everyone, regardless of age or initial background. And, so when we're talking, Governor, about people applying online, you can come here and learn those skills to apply online. So thank you, Vintage, for providing that and giving people those skills. I'm proud to work with you to improve the quality of life of our neighbors. And that's why I'm so excited that the property tax and rent rebate is opening and is ready to go today. And we have people here ready to process applications. This expansion wouldn't have been possible without Governor Shapiro and the General Assembly and my colleagues, Representative Mays, to get that across the finish line. And because of this expansion, we saw a huge increase of applications in our offices. The Secretary talked about them statewide, but I want to give you a little bit of a flavor of what it's like on a local level. My office staff processed nearly 550 property tax and rent rebate applications in 2024, up from just 300 in 2023. That's an 80% increase in applications that we just processed in our office alone. And I'm so grateful to each of my staff members, Grace, Kaden, Jess, Marilyn, Ronnie, and Suzanne, for processing all of those applications. Grace is with me here today, and she's been with me for 6 years. I don't think she can count how many she's processed over the years. And she and the rest of my staff is very grateful, Governor, to be able to process more this year and hopefully more next year. I generally couldn't do it without them. Each of those applications that we process represents a person who can breathe a little easier now that that rebate has come through. And so many of our constituents share those stories each and every day about what it means to them. So I'm encouraging every senior who's watching today, please, if you meet those guidelines, come. If you're unsure, come, ask us, come here to Vintage. Come to your local senior center, your library, your state rep's office, your state senator's office. We're here to help you cross that, fill out that application and get that money in your bank account. So let's get to work and make sure that everyone who is eligible for these rebates gets them. So thank you, and with that, I kick it over to my wonderful state rep, Latasha D. Mays. Thank you.
So I told the governor just a little bit ago that I'm his official closer now.
Yeah, she's good. You want me to hold your hat while you do it?
No, the hat is a part of the.
I would, whatever you need, I'm here to help.
I just want to welcome all of you who are visiting today. Welcome to the 24th Legislative District. Welcome back, Governor Shapiro. It is always amazing to have you here, not only in my district, but in the city of Pittsburgh. It's exciting to be here with you all on this very cold and snowy day. You could be at home, but you know the importance of this state government program. It's great to share this space with elected leaders who care, who truly care about what happens to our seniors. So to be here with the county executive and our mayor, who also served in the House, as well as my colleague in the Senate, it is a joy to do this work with them, and we do it together. We work together to make sure that you all have the services that you may need. And to Vintage and Heather, such an incredible resource in my district and in the greater Pittsburgh region for our seniors. You deserve the greatest of things in this life, and Vintage is a representation of what our community has to offer. I've had the opportunity to partner with Vintage. We hosted our first shredding event here, which was really amazing, and they continue to show up. I've had the opportunity to bring dollars back home, not only to my district, but to Vintage, $100,000 in 2023 and $325,000 in 2024, and I'm proud to continue to do that. I love my seniors, and as I talk with you, as I engage with you, as you contact my office and my staff, I know how important the property tax and rent rebate program is. I know it's also equally important that you have access to our state programs in your community, in your neighborhood. And so that's important to me too. It's important to my staff. And so I'm proud to share that in 2024, my district office provided 2,700 constituent services, processing hundreds of rebates and putting tens of thousands of dollars back in the pockets of my seniors. You can clap for that. And to that end, I want to announce that my district office provided the most number of constituent services for property tax and rent rebates in the entire Democratic caucus in my first term. And so that's how we prioritize seniors, not only in the governor's administration, but in my district, in the House, and in the Senate. So we're going to keep the PTRR, the rent rebate program going. We're going to keep that party going literally, because we're going to have a party on Valentine's Day, and we're going to do a little line dancing, as the county executive talked about. But that is going to be property tax and rent rebate sign-up day. So on February 14th at 1 p.m. here in this room at Vintage, you'll have the opportunity to sign up, and my staff will be here to make that happen. But if you don't want to wait, you can always contact my office. My staffer will pass out brochures, and we can get this party started today. Right, Governor?
You can do it.
I just want to briefly talk about all the services that we can provide. Get your Connect card. It's time to make sure that you have signed up for that. We can also provide Medicare counseling prescription medication support, caregiver support. We know some of your family members and those who love you and care for you need supports too. And also how we can avoid scams, especially the text and phone scams that are targeting our seniors. So those are some of the things that my office can provide. So I just want to say thank you, Governor. Thank you for your vision. You continue to demonstrate how we get stuff done and how we can work for our seniors and the people of this Commonwealth when we work together in a bipartisan way. Thank you, Vintage, for all that you do in this community. Shout out to all my Vintage seniors who are here today. And always, as always, thank you for the opportunity to serve you as your state representative. Go 24th Legislative District. Let's get this money, y'all. Take care. Thank you.
Thanks,
Thank you,
Rep.
Governor.
Great work.
Thank you.
Great
Appreciate
work.
it.
Rep. Mays mentioned she's our closer. We do so much together in Pittsburgh. We're getting the hang of this here together, and appreciate your leadership, Senator, yours, our executive, our entire team here on the ground, everybody working together. So I know we have some seniors here who want to get started on their 2025 property tax rent rebate application. I got to answer a few questions from the media, and then we'll get that started. So thanks for having me at Vintage. We appreciate it, and we'll see if there's any questions. Seeing none? Oh, yes. Are you with the media? You can ask
No,
me a
I'm
question.
not. But you've been talking about opportunities for seniors, and I would like to propose something that I have written and sent to school districts all over the state, all over the county, and I haven't gotten a single response. But there is a municipality someplace, I can't recall where, that offers school tax consideration for seniors who go into the schools to volunteer. And I think it's an opportunity whose time has come. I know it's not administered at the state level,
Right.
but with trickle down, I'm hoping that this information can get to different school districts, because seniors who are retired, who have the time, who have the backgrounds to go in and listen to kids read or help them with math skills or things like that, if they could get a consideration on their school taxes, which are the highest taxes we have to pay, it would be so beneficial.
It's a great idea. Thank you for sharing that with us. Thank you. Yeah.
WESA. I know you included a proposed tax on skill games in the 24-25 budget. That didn't make it in. Are you going to try that again now that Republicans kind of seem to be interested?
I'm going to make my budget announcement in 2 weeks before a joint session of the legislature. We'll be talking about a number of important issues. I think one of those, yes, needs to be regulating and taxing those skill games that are just popping up everywhere across Pennsylvania. I was encouraged to see that the Republican leaders in the Senate have indicated their willingness to do it. That was kind of one of the pieces of unfinished business at the end of the last session, and we'll look forward to working with them and the leaders in the House to find common ground on that issue. Thank you. All right. Thank you all very much. It was good to be with you today. Thank you.